I want to talk about the different generations. Of you and I, you're my son, so we're 21 years apart. And then, Hayden's a few years behind. He's 24 years younger than me. And, you and I served in the same war in Afghanistan. So I grew up much different than you grew up. I could say that pretty accurately because I experienced you growing up and I experienced me growing up. We grew up very differently. And I think I think as we go on and there's, different cultures and different generations or say, well, I had it harder or you had it easier. But I think it's just not harder or easier. It's just different. And I think that gives some pros and cons to the different generations that go in the military today. And so I want to talk to you about some of the, what's some pros, some cons of this generation's ability to serve, our nation, because we need young men and women to raise their hand and make an oath to serve our nation to protect, our freedoms in America, both foreign and domestic. It's very important that they do that. But it's a very small population that does it. It's only 0.5% in the military. Only 0.5% of the U.S. population serves in the United States military. And so you take in the best of our culture. I believe it's the best of our culture. And they raise their hand to make an oath to serve, and then they serve. But it seems today like I'm hearing that a lot of them have trouble acclimating from their life as 17, 18, 20-year-old civilians into being a Marine or airman or a soldier or a sailor. And then so I hear that some of them have trouble acclimating. But then I go down to a place like BRC and watch these young kids graduate, and they're like studs. Like, it's incredible. And someone like you said, 21 years old, able to call in close air support in Afghanistan and put bombs on targets. And some of those missions. You haven't talked a lot about it, but some of those missions are like danger close missions and stuff. This is crazy stuff. I was down at Recon Battalion. I was speaking on at First Recon Battalion just a few months ago, and we were talking about free fall jumping, and I was talking about some of the changes and advances, and they're like, yeah, there was this 19-year-old Lance Corporal who jumped a 500-pound barrel. Those who don't know about free fall jumping, sometimes you can jump your free fall, you have all your gear, but then sometimes you strap yourself to a barrel and called bundle jumping, and carry it through the skies. This 19-year-old kid, they had video of him, Lance Corporal, jumping at 32,000 feet in the middle of the night with a 500-pound barrel strapped to him. The amount of skill and technique of skydiving that takes is absolutely incredible. And you think, where do these young kids like this come from? So yeah, I'm hearing both sides. I'm hearing that some kids aren't cutting it, they're not able to acclimate, and then you hear about kids like and I say kids because if you dropping bombs on targets, you're not a kid. If you're jumping out of an airplane at 32,000 feet with a 500-pound barrel, you're probably not a kid. But young heroes, what do you see? What's the pros and cons that you see?
Yeah, so obviously we're in a different time. So the guys, obviously, that went to World War II, Vietnam.
2001 Afghanistan?
2001 Afghanistan.
Totally different, yeah.
Totally different than now the new age, I should say. What is it? Gen Z is the new. There's millennial.
I just know you guys wear funny clothes like skinny jeans.
That's
and stuff
right.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, I think maturity is one of the things that can play into this. Going back to World War II and Vietnam, most of these guys that went into the military were definitely, I think, a little more rough and tough. But now we have guys and women that are joining the military that are not only rough and tough, but they are also smart. I believe that the United States has definitely took a different approach on how children are taught in school all the way through high school. And I personally had a rough time in high school. Like, I'm not good with school, but I feel like we have a generation that is currently serving in the United States military that is smart. And an example of this is technology. So the Marine Corps had, and not just the Marine Corps, but the entire military itself has definitely upgraded a lot of our stuff for technology. So we have stuff that works with aircraft, and it goes into a tablet. And you're looking at this tablet, and I'm not going to get too much into this, but if you were to take a guy that joined the Marine Corps in 2001 or 2003 and say, hey, I need you to work this tablet, he's going to be like, what is this thing? How do I work this?
Yeah, I have trouble working my iPhone.
Exactly.
You guys are
Yeah.
using tablets to call in there.
Exactly. So now you have a 19-year-old that's working in an FDC or FSCC for artillery.
What's that?
So Fire Direction Center, all right? So you have this computer, and this guy's inputting all the stuff into his computer and sending it to the gun line. Obviously, they were doing this back in the day, but now there's so much technology involved in everything.
It's faster.
It's faster, exactly, and it's more accurate, and it protects the observer on the hill from getting rounds on his position. And it's amazing to see how much technology can help on the battlefield. And I think our younger generation, that's going to be...
They have the ability to implement that technology.
Yeah, the ability...
Cavemen like me can't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty awesome to see this generation that was playing Xbox probably 6 months ago, and now they're in Afghanistan controlling drones. All right, drones are a huge thing we're using right now because you don't have to put boots on the ground. You can have a kid in a box in Nevada flying this drone, dropping bombs, land it back in some Middle Eastern country, and he goes back home. It's a video game to them. So you have these kids that know how to use their technology, and it's so effective. And going back to that, it's them being smart, them knowing how to use that.